Fellow Spartans, how you doing, and welcome to an epic siege battle on Third Age Total War. It's been a while, but it's good to be back with this mod. So today, you're watching a battle replay that was fought between myself, Jackie Fish, Pixelated Apollo, and Alex the Rambler. And I was playing as Dale, and my teammate Jackie was as the Dwarves, and we were facing off against Apollo's Sylvan Elves, and Rambler was playing as the High Elves. Now this battle was part of the Tug of War series which Apollo and Jackie are doing at the moment, so go check it out over on their channels if you haven't already done so. It's really good fun, and of course all the channel links can be found down below in the description. So Apollo had driven Jackie back to this fortress and really wanted to gain victory again in this battle today, because Jackie had been gaining the upper hand against him recently, so the pressure was on for him and Rambler to win and succeed. We did try and record this live, but the lag was terrible. It essentially doubled the length of this battle, but I'm sure you'll still enjoy the battle replay today nonetheless. So let's get on with it. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. So before we actually start the battle itself, let's have a quick look at the units of the armies that are here in this great siege battle today. So we've got Rambler with his High Elves. He's got a nice mixture of heavy infantry, light infantry, and he's got obviously in fact he was the only army of him and Apollo to bring the siege equipment to this conflict. So it was him who was responsible for putting all the holes in our walls basically, and I can see there, look at that, bang, and this one will finish the job. 88%. I thought I was going to finish it there, but it wasn't. No, I thought that was the final blow to that wall. But yeah, he is the one responsible for taking down the enemy's walls, or our walls today. So he's got the units like his light infantry, his heavy infantry, and that's pretty much it. His spearmen over here, and yes, he didn't bring any cavalry, or I don't think the High Elves or the I don't think the High Elves have got any cavalry actually, but he didn't bring any archers, just his artillery crew for them. So that was him over there, and then Apollo over here, he's got his light elven archers, his heavy infantry which will be manning the ladders to try and assault the walls of our fortress. They'll go in there to try and pack a deadly punch. He's got some missile archers over here on the flanks, and he's got some Sylvan spearmen, heavy archers as well. Oh, there you go, Rambler again, smashing another hole in the wall. He did very well early on with his catapults. Actually did very well with them. A little bit later on he did do a few dodgy shots, but early on he did do the job very well for his team. Yes, so he's got some, Apollo that is, got some heavy archers here. Now these guys obviously not only fire well, get a lot of rounds off a minute with their arrows, but they also will be able to hold their own in melee combat with it being heavy archers. They'll be able to have a good fight against our units, you know, hand to hand with their swords. So they are deadly units in a lot of ways, very difficult to break down. So that's the basis of Apollo's army. Now the reason why you've got so many units on this left flank is because basically Jackie and myself brought out all our cavalry away from the fortress into the field of battle here, essentially to do two things: distract their armies, because throughout the time that our cavalry were out in the lands of the fields, Apollo and Rambler were saying, watch the cavalry behind you, watch them, don't get distracted by them, make sure you keep watching them and keep track of them. So that was our first reason for bringing them out, to distract them. But also, eventually they would have to have committed all their units, or most of their units, towards the city themselves to try and take it. That was obviously the job of this battle, to take the city. So at that point, when they were committing a lot of their units forward, that would have given us the opportunity to then essentially attack them in the rear with our cavalry, take them out, surprise attack them, surprise charge them, and hopefully do some, or in fact not do some, but a lot of damage against the enemy units. That was the plan. So let's see if that works out, I should say, later on. So we're still sitting back at the moment, or they are. We are just holding our ground, but the initial attacks are coming in now. Here goes. Oh no, actually that is not. That is Jackie Fish's Dwarven army. I thought it was actually one of Rambler's units. So I don't know if he was trying to lead them out there to try and bait the enemy into attacking us. I think that was his idea with that unit. But at this moment in time, actually now I think they start to begin the push forward, because yes, here we go. Here we go. This is when Rambler started to commit his light infantry and spearmen. His initial charge with these 4 or 5 units was the first phase of the battle. Here goes Apollo. Now Apollo had a load of archers, as I said to you before, and he really did a lot of damage with these archers. These were pretty effective in this battle today. Very effective indeed. So here we go. So what we did was we sat back for the majority of the first phase of the battle. We didn't commit every single unit that we had to the outer walls. We sort of kept some in reserve essentially. We didn't want to lose too many men. We wanted to have fresh units later on that could help out in the later parts of the battle. So that's why we kept some away from the first conflicts that were occurring. But here we go. Here goes Rambler. He's committed a few of his units already into these 2 holes that he punched through the walls of ours with his catapults. In fact, he's done about 1, 2, 3, 4 holes he's done in the walls here. So good work from Rambler with his catapult. But we were prepared. We brought across our Dwarven warriors and our Dale swordsmen. I mean, these guys, the Dwarven warriors, they will stand their ground for long periods of time. You can be confident in that, I can tell you that. They will hold their land and hold their ground for as long as they possibly can. So I was quietly confident in that when I knew Jackie was committing them to the walls. I thought, well, it's okay, it's going to give me time to bring my men across, which I'm doing in the background here. You can see here my Dale swordsmen and my spearmen are coming around the back now. Rambler has now initiated flaming shots with his catapult. But I tell you what, this is so much smoother than it was when we did the battle itself live, as I said to you early on. It literally was lagging so much. It was dropping out. It was connection problems every few seconds, and it would come back on. It would drop off again. It literally took about an hour and a half to do this battle real time. So there's no way I could have recorded it. So as I say, much better now that you can see it, in the replay sort of format, much smoother for you to enjoy, because it was just awful, guys. But we got through it in the end, and we did prevail. So here we go. Here is the heavy infantry of Apollo coming to the walls, as we said he would do early on at the start of the battle. But I brought across my spearmen ready and poised to intercept him and try and hold the walls for as long as we possibly can. So we initiate the defence there as they start to approach our top of their walls, or top of our walls there with their ladders. So they've engaged now in combat. Can we hold them? Hopefully we can. It's saying at the moment the victory seems certain, but how long will that last? But what he's done here, Apollo, he's sneakily brought another couple of units of his heavy infantry to this side of the wall. No one is defending it, basically. So he's got an easy walk into the city essentially now, a free access in a way, free pass. And at this point, I didn't realise he was actually attacking this wall. So he comes out of nowhere. Comes a bit of a surprise, but we hopefully will deal with him in a second. But the Dwarven units here have lost their ground, unfortunately. So we've now had to hold at 2 points here and here. These points, these choke points, have been overwhelmed by the enemy, unfortunately. So we've lost them, but we've got a lot of men here holding them at bay. A lot of men. So this is looking not bad early on, not bad at all. Another unit of Dale's swordsmen have gone up the walls to support my spearmen, because they have taken a lot of losses now. The heavy infantry are doing a good job against my spearmen, so I brought across my own heavy infantry unit to try and retaliate and fight back against them. And look, again, here we go. Free access into the city, a free key, a free pass into the walls there. But look at this. How many archers and arrows can you see now? Look at the sky is darkening with the arrow fire now. It's getting ridiculous. It wasn't that much then, but I'll tell you what, in a second he starts to look at these volleys going in. And this is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. This is where a lot of the enemy's kills came from. His Apollo's archer units really did make the difference. But thankfully, what I did with this unit that got into the city without any resistance, I brought across a unit of Dale's swordsmen that were hanging back here, which weren't actually fighting at that point in time. I brought them away from that unit there, or that block of units there, and brought them across and intercept. And basically, I did intercept them in the end, which was lucky, and it allowed Jackie to bring his Dwarven units across unscathed. So yeah, we were able to hold them at bay for quite a long period of time now, which is good. So that was fine. On the wall, we're still holding back these heavy infantry units, so this is good. We've won that clash there. But look at look at Apollo here. What he's done very cleverly, he's used this part of the wall, which has been obviously broken off at either end here, and placed these Sylvan Elf archers on there. So he's got elevation to fire left and right into my and Jackie Fish's units, and they can't be touched. We can't get at them because obviously they're blocking. The enemy are blocking off our access to them there, and they're blocking off my access to them there as well. So they can just sit there firing all day or night without any issues whatsoever. And I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the kills for them start to go up and up and up, and you'll see as the battle develops, the numbers that we once had are dropping very, very quickly indeed, because not only have they got that unit up there which is firing, they've got all these units over here firing over as well. And unfortunately, apologies, I've been concentrating so much on this part of the battle in the actual fortress itself, I've completely forgotten about the cavalry. So we did commit the cavalry in the end, and what I think, looking back at it now, was that Apollo I should say, did know what he was doing here. He literally sacrificed a couple of units to deal with my units of cavalry, knowing full well that they were going to fall, but they would take my cavalry down at the same time. And they did the job. It then gave all their superior archers and infantry units the chance to go into the city without any real problems for my cavalry in the end, unfortunately. So there's my cavalry units dead on the ground, no more. Jackie's got a couple of units left, only a few units or few men within those units are actually fighting on. They've pretty much been taken out completely as well. And because of that, because we didn't get very good charges off against the enemy, because we didn't really get into them and able to pick them off, it's left most of their archers, as I say, ready to carry on firing and doing the damage that they've already been doing. We haven't been able to get their cavalry, I keep saying cavalry, or I keep saying the wrong bloody word, that's what I'm saying. Wrong name, wrong word. What I meant was, we didn't get their catapults, so because we didn't get their catapults, again, that gave Rambler free reign to fire wherever he wanted to do so and take out whoever he wanted to. It gave them maneuverability. It gave them freedom to control their units in the outer walls without any resistance now, because we couldn't get at them. We were blocked off at both choke points. Both choke points we were blocked off at getting at them with. And these archers are sitting there again. Look at this. Oh, and that shot from Rambler took out so many of the Jackie Fish's archers. Jackie Fish's crossbowmen. He took out so many. Now, the situation here is that Rambler was continuing to fire on this hole in the wall, and he actually broke the hole in our walls again. And Apollo was crying out, saying, "Don't do it! Don't break the hole in the wall, because it will give them an opportunity to have another choke point to come out at us at, basically." So Apollo was concerned that we were now able to flood out the gates and essentially flank them from the rear. And we did to a point, but then basically Rambler very quickly reacted and brought his high elf spearmen in to block my Dale swordsmen from getting out of the city, unfortunately, which is a problem, as it would have been quite a nice rear charge. But we did manage in the end, I didn't manage in the end, to sneak a unit of swordsmen out, get them through the gap in the wall here. Look at this. And they were able to then flank around Rambler's heavy infantry here, his spearmen I should say, which was nice. We did get a rear charge in the end, but then Apollo did react with his spearmen. So yeah, it's very, very tooth and nail here. It's literally 50-50, 57 allies killed to 54 enemy killed, so it's very close in terms of numbers. It could go either way at the moment, very, very close. But then Apollo did react in time and was able to then counter my Dale swordsman from getting a decent flanking manoeuvre, unfortunately, on Rambler's troops there. But this is when the main part of the battle took place, as you can see. A lot of it was just round here. back and forth. And again, these archers doing a high amount of damage. This is what I mean about these heavy archers, these silver and heavy archers. They're great at firing, but also they've got that, look at that, those two-handed weapons which are able to do some phenomenal damage against the enemy. Look at this. Arrow after arrow after arrow, just firing in. Another volley we're coming in now. Look at this now. And we're taking some heavy fire. Look at this. Numbers are falling. Blood is being spilt here. This is not good. Even these heavy armoured dwarves won't be able to withstand that for much longer. So another unit of Dale swordsmasters, in fact, not swordsmen, the swordsmasters are going to come in now, because the numbers are dropping, as you can see. Our lines are getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And as I said to you, it's these and all these that are causing this problem, because I think if these archers weren't here and out on the outer walls, or outside of the walls, the outskirts of the walls, we would have been able to hold this line off from the enemy, I think, quite easily. We were doing a very good job here, because all our units essentially were defensive units, especially Jackie Fish's dwarven units. So, you know, that's the turning point, I think. And I mean, even before we fought the battle, Rambler and Apollo thought they were actually talking in private chat, but they weren't. They were talking in public chat. And they were saying to each other, bring loads of archers, bring loads of archers. And my God, was that a wise decision in the end? Because look at it. Look at it, ladies and gentlemen. This charge from the Jackie's dwarven axemen. Oh, God. Trying to get into the mix with these heavy archers. But again, Apollo can fight back. He can hold his own with these. These are not just mere skirmishers. They will fight on to the very death, these Sylvan Owls will. Great units. Great versatile units, in fact. And you see now, we're committing everything we've got at this point. I don't think there's anything in reserve. There's not. We've committed everything we've got. So I was starting to panic here, because I'm thinking, hang on. They've still got loads of units left. And we've got very little in some areas. Very little indeed. I mean, here I come again with some Dalesmen. But yeah, it's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking quite precarious in a lot of ways. What I have got as well, I completely forgot about them until near the end of the battle. And in fact, this was the point when I started to move them forward. This is my general unit, in fact. This unit of catapult is my general. So I was obviously thinking twice about using him early on. Maybe I should have done. I think I used him a bit too late. But what I did, I brought him forward. Our men have taken control of the castle. And the unit's aim was to try and fire upon Rambler's catapults over here. Try and get some of them down. So you'll see some shots coming across the field in a minute towards Rambler's catapults from my catapult. But still, Apollo continues to mount the walls with his Sylvan spearmen. This unit of dwarves trying to hold them back, these iron crossbowmen. Again, they'll hold their own in melee, but for how long? So I feel, ladies and gentlemen, it's looking quite precarious at the moment. The balance of power is now in their favour. Allies killed 84 to 78%. And look at these guys, again, just sitting there. No challenge whatsoever. Firing, firing, firing. And Rambler now, look at that. Rambler's getting some shots off with the heavy catapults. Oh my God. Look at that shot there. Look at that shot there. Flaming shot. Right into my men. Oh my God, he hit his own men as well. Bloody hell. Rambler doesn't care. He's going for whatever he can. Oh my God. Some amazing shots from Rambler there. Hitting his own men at the same time. But who cares? Because they are taking so many of us down. Struth. I think at that point, yeah, Apollo says, stop firing. Please stop firing. So many times throughout this battle, he was saying, just don't fire. Stop firing. Because I think he did hit a few of his own men, I should say, and obviously Apollo's men. And there you go again, hitting some of Apollo's back line there. Oh God! So not only taking out our numbers, but taking out his own numbers. Hilarious. Look at this, the city's starting to burn now. Rambler's left his mark. Many buildings are on fire. It's not looking good, ladies and gentlemen, it really isn't. The city is aflame here. Buildings are perishing to a cinder. And the last few men of the Dale Swordsmasters are hanging on there, but they are going down. The heavy archers have done a phenomenal job. If we can, we'll have a look at the statistics at the end. I don't know if I can look at the enemy statistics and only look at mine, but if we can, we'll try and look at Apollo's, because he's got some very high numbers in deaths here, I'm sure, or in casualties to our men, most definitely. And now Apollo's firing into my catapult general unit because he's got the range to do so. He's got free reign, in fact. Oh, and there was when Rambler lost his general, which was good. But still, archers starting to rain down upon me. Oh, there goes a shot. And it's way off, completely way off. I did manage to take one of them down, actually. I was quite pleased about. But Rambler's damage had already been done at that point, unfortunately. So there's only a few units left. A very, very handful of men left for both myself and Jackie. Now, what Jackie had here was one quite solid unit of Dwarven warriors left. So he brought them back, which is obviously the wisest move, I'm sure, to bring them back, to try and save as many as he could. So it's a fair point that he did that. So he brought them back away from the fight. Over there would have been just suicide. So now, oh, look at this. Actually, talking about suicide, Jackie's last two units of cav going in for the charge against the catapult, and they've bottled it. They've actually, I think they wavered, did they? Oh, they didn't. They went on the back here. That's quite a good move from Jackie. Bless him for that. 10 out of 10 for trying. So yeah, but yeah, look at this now. It's given Jackie, sorry, I say Apollo and Rambler, the chance now to just get all their forces that they've got left into the city for the final push, essentially, the final charge against the dwarves and Dale. But to be honest with you, at this point, I didn't have many men left. It was looking very, very, very bad for both me and Jackie, unfortunately. It looked quite good at the beginning. And as I said, it would have been if they hadn't brought so many bloody archers onto these walls, and if we'd been able to get at them, fine. But it really played into their favour. They masterminded it quite well in the end, I feel. Looking back at the replay especially, it gives you a chance to sort of summarise and have a nice overview of what happened, because obviously in the battle itself it's quite hectic. When you can look at it like this, you can see how it all planned out. It seems to have been nicely executed by Rambler and Apollo, most definitely. So yeah, here they go. They're lining up the last few units they've got. I mean, obviously they did take a lot of deaths to their own men in the end. We did, do a lot of damage, even though it's looking like it could be their victory. We did do quite a high amount of damage to them. So, they've only got a few men scattered about in various parts. What I'll do here is I'll fast forward a second, as we will be just looking at nothing for a moment. So let's fast forward just until... Oh, hang on. Look at this unit. Look at this one unit of infantry. Bless him. Oh, he's a hero. He's an absolute sodding hero. But alas, he unfortunately did die in the end.
Our men no longer command the castle.
And here comes both Rambler and Apollo. There was, I think, yeah, that unit there. Yes, I'm glad I got it. The catapult shot hit Rambler's one man in that unit there. It took him out. Brilliant. But here we go. Now, this is quite good. I was quite admiring Jackie here for his courage. I was laughing my head off, in fact, because what he's got, obviously, he's got this one last unit. No, is that mine? Yeah, that's his other unit of heavy infantry. He's got this one unit here. This is it. This is the Dwarven Warriors he's got left to hold on to. This is his one last chance of victory with this unit. So he's brought them across and started to take out Apollo's Sentinels of Woodland Realm. And he's doing quite well. I mean, these guys aren't the heavy archers that he's got back over here. These Dwarven warriors will do the job against them, and you'll start to see he does just that. He's quite effective against them because these are very light units. So Jackie's going to have the upper hand straight away with these, most definitely. Zoom into the action a little bit more here. So yeah, he's not taking many losses, is he? 45, yeah, I think he had 47 when he started the actual clash. He's only lost 2 men. But he's making quick work of these elves here. Very quick work of these light elven units. Rambler going round with his catapult crew now, bless him, to try and flank in the rear. He's abandoned his siege equipment now. He's going to go for the melee attack instead. Surrounding Jackie's dwarven units, but look at that, he's only lost 3 or 4 men since the last time we checked. Or dwarves I should say, not men. God, if I told a dwarf he was a man, he would bloody kill me. Can't be saying that to him, that's cursing him. But look at this, look at this. So yeah, well played Jackie, you got to give him much credit for this. So let's zoom in again and just fast forward a little bit more. 32, not losing a single man here, but look at this, he's making very quick work of the catapult crew. Oh, he's taking a few casualties now. Oh, and that's when I lost my cavalry, sorry, my catapult general in the end, unfortunately. So 22 left, 20 now, 20 left. And I think it's getting too much for Jackie's Dwarven warriors now. They're starting to get a little bit tired. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Mr. Advisor. You took the words out of my mouth. But he's still fighting on. This is when it gets really funny, in my opinion, because what he does, he starts to play around with Apollo and Rambler. Because I've got no units left now. I'm completely done. This is me gone. He's got this 1 unit left, obviously, Jackie's got. And he thinks instead of just trying to keep fighting here, what he does, he gets them, he takes them away, he starts to run away with them. So I'll just carry on for a second. Here we go, here he goes. Here he goes. He starts to run off. He starts to run off. This is hilarious. So Apollo and Rambler give chase. So this is hilarious now. He goes into the walls, out the gates, in the gates. This is great. So look at that. See, firing down upon him. Goes up there. He goes up here. Then goes back down again. Then goes back up. I think. Oh no, that's it. He's lost. No, he's done. And that was it. It ended quite comically actually in the end. But there we go. Sorry about getting all the names mixed up. I think it's all these bloody advisors talking to me. Oh god, it was just too much. The heat of the battle just confused me. But anyway, there is where it finished, ladies and gentlemen. And it was an average defeat in the end. We did take a lot of casualties in the end, but we did inflict a lot of casualties as well upon Rambler and Apollo. But I think looking at statistics, I can only look at mine, can I? Yeah, I can only look at mine, unfortunately. Who's my best performing unit then? It was this unit of spearmen. I can't pronounce the name of them, but I know they're the spear unit within the Dale army there. So 104 casualties inflicted to that unit. And casualties sustained. Practically everyone. Yeah, they're all in bad shape by the end of it. But yeah, I didn't kill many in the end actually. I don't know if Dale's army roster isn't that good because they weren't that effective. Or maybe I just didn't play very well with them. But yeah, it was quite a sad sight to see when the battle results came up in the end. But Jackie did well, 1173. Look at that though. If I could only see how much of a percentage that enemies killed figure was down to their archers, I'd love to see it. But I reckon it's a very, very high percentage was because of his heavy archers and light archers, because they just did amazing. So 1667 kills for Apollo, so well played to him, well played to Rambler. Great game. epic battle, really fun in the end, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. So if you did, you know what to do. Drop it a like, show your support. I'll try and get some more of these third age battles going again on the channel. But there you go. So thanks for watching, but until next time, this is Warrior Spotter for now saying farewell.